Let's dig into a question that I think every project manager wrestles with. How do you know if your risk management is actually working? I mean, really working. Are you just going through the motions, checking off boxes, or are you getting results that make your project stronger and more likely to succeed? That's what we're going to unpack. You know the feeling, right? You've done everything by the book. You've spent hours, maybe weeks, brainstorming risks, filling out those detailed logs, planning all your responses. Your risk register looks perfect, but deadlines are still slipping. The budget's getting tight. The team feels like they're constantly putting out fires. So what gives? If you've done all the right things, why does it still feel like the project is on shaky ground? Well, there's a name for this, and it's a super common trap. It's called the illusion of control. It's what happens when we mistake the activity of risk management, all those meetings, the documents, the spreadsheets, for actual real progress. We get this false sense of security, this feeling that we've got everything handled just because we're busy, even if that busyness isn't actually leading to better results. Okay, so how do you escape that illusion? Well, it takes a pretty big shift in how you think about the whole thing. The goal isn't just to do risk management. The real goal is to achieve specific, measurable outcomes that prove, really prove, that your project is more prepared for whatever comes its way. Here's a simple way to think about it. On one side, you've got the process-focused stuff, identifying risks, filling docs, planning responses. Those are the inputs. On the other side, you've got the outcome-focused results, hitting your deadlines, staying on budget, building a resilient project. A process-focused team asks, did we update the risk log? But an outcome-focused team asks, did our work actually help us stay on track and on budget? See the difference? It's a total game changer. So, how do we get practical about this? Well, there are 7 key outcomes you can use as a kind of health check for your project's risk management. Think of it as your dashboard, a way to verify that all your effort is actually creating value. Let's start with the first 3, which are really the foundation. First up, awareness. Is your team just looking inward at project tasks, or are they looking at the bigger picture, what's happening in the market, with the economy, even politically? Next, proactivity. Are your plans for dealing with risks actually realistic? Are they tied to the real-world budget and schedule you have to work with? And third, capacity. This one's huge. Does everyone on the team actually know the risk plan and how to use it? Because a brilliant plan that just sits on a shelf is totally useless. Okay, next up, we measure performance. Minimal impact is all about defense, and it's simple. Are you hitting your dates? Are you staying within your budget thresholds? This is kind of the ultimate test of how well you're managing threats. But hey, it's not all about defense. That's where realized opportunities comes in. This is your offense. Are you actively looking for the good kind of uncertainty, the things that could actually make the project better, faster, or cheaper? And finally, we get to the really strategic level, effective reserves. This basically means you're getting so good at heading off threats that you hardly ever have to dip into your contingency funds. You're solving problems before they hit your wallet. And when you're consistently doing all of this, you start to build the most important outcome of all, resilience. And honestly, this is what it's all about. Every single one of those other outcomes we just talked about, they're all in service of this one big goal, building a project that is fundamentally strong, adaptable, not just a project with a really long list of risks that you've managed. So what is resilience, really? It's not about being invincible or never having problems. No project is perfect. Resilience is about being able to take a punch, a budget cut, a key person quitting, a technology failing, absorb that impact and get back on your feet fast. It's like a boxer who can get knocked down but always gets right back up, ready for the next round. So how do you actually check for resilience? It boils down to 4 really concrete things. 1, does your team even know the company's overall emergency plan? 2, have you actually secured a management reserve for those completely out-of-the-blue, unknown unknowns? 3, do you have a continuity plan specifically for your project? And maybe the most important, 4, when a crisis does hit, can your team actually adapt on the fly? So as we wrap this up, let's just circle back to that central idea. Moving from process to performance really means changing the questions you ask yourself and your team. Instead of asking, what did we do, you start asking, what did we achieve? I think this quote just nails it. The goal isn't just to manage risk, it's to build a project that can withstand it.
Suddenly, risk management isn't some boring administrative task. It's a strategic mission to build strength and durability right into the DNA of your project.
So, what's the bottom line here? What should you take away? First, make a conscious choice to shift your focus from just doing processes to actually achieving outcomes. Use those 7 outcomes we talked about as your scorecard. Remember that real risk control means protecting your schedule and your budget. And above all else, make building a truly resilient project your #1 goal. So I'll leave you with one final thought. Take a look at those 7 outcomes again. Which one does your project need to focus on right now? Today? Whatever your answer is, that's your first step toward real outcome-driven risk management.